What's up, everyone? Today we are going through some of the footage that I had in Mumbai. The reason I wanted to do this is kind of like a walking cam version of kind of my experiences in parts of Mumbai. And we called it Lost in Mumbai, Unfiltered Street Encounters and Shocking Experiences with Locals. This is just raw footage, but I'm going to pause it periodically to talk about some of the behind-the-scenes things that happened in Mumbai and some of the fun things, some of the less fun things, and you're going to get to see a lot of the stories behind this. So we'll start off right here, and let's let the video roll. Beautiful shopping day in Mumbai. All these snacks. Oh, so many beautiful snacks. Namaskar, bhai. So right here, I wanted to pause it. There's some really cool things that happen here. So I've studied Hindi for a while, and Hindi is something I'm still learning, but I wanted to be able to use some of it. There's some great YouTubers out there. Bald and Bankrupt, during his expeditions through India, really helped me when I was watching his videos pick up a lot of Hindi, and then Duolingo. So I started learning Hindi that way. I knew a lot of the spice names and kitchen names for things, but here, one of the local street vendors was just kind of like smiling at me, so I wanted to kind of say hi. So namaskar bhai, and a lot different than namaste. This is the greeting that I like to use there, depending on who I'm talking to. The greeting will be different. Bhai meaning like brother. And this gets interesting because I get really nervous, and you can tell here I get really nervous talking in Hindi. And at first I like kind of freeze up, and then I start to get a little bit more acclimated to it. So let's see how I do.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Hi.
Good. Good. मेरा नाम Keith.
देश का नाम?
देश का नाम?
Country name?
Oh, USA.
USA है.
Yeah. आप कहाँ से?
हाँ?
आप कहाँ से?
India.
India. बहुत बढ़िया. बहुत बढ़िया.
Very nice.
आपका नाम क्या है?
Romans.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. What do you know? Onion, potato, I know.
Oh, I love onion and potato.
No. Tomato and everything finished.
Nahi for now. Maybe later. Dhanyavad ji. So during the course of this, you can see how nervous I was. When I knew Desh ka naam, country name, and I like froze up. I got nervous because I was like, oh God, this isn't the way I planned it. And it's funny because his English was clearly better than my Hindi. And it was a good little interaction. One of the things that's neat is if you rewind that back a little bit, look at the gentleman to his left shoulder and the beautiful smile that he has. A little bit of Hindi, a little bit of Marathi, a little bit of just language exchange goes such a long way in countries like this. And so I think it's such a form of respect when we get to do that. This is the best. Namaskar, bhai. So much fun. So I wanted to pause it here for a couple of reasons. Number one, this section of Mumbai was so much fun. There's always so much happening. Mumbai is just an incredible adventure. But I wanted to camp out on a couple of different things that you'll see here. Number one, to the left, I kind of say namaskar bhai. I was really trying to like interact and smile and say hi to people and really get to know people more and more. To the left, you see BJ, my good friend and fellow chef, looking at poultry. So there's a lot of just open air poultry markets where they're butchering right in front of you. It's something that in the West we don't see a lot of. It's, you know, in the West we don't have open air like that. And I think for a lot of Westerners it can be shocking at first. This was not shocking for really either of us. if anything, I thought it was really fascinating. The skill that these guys have with knives is absolutely incredible. Their knife work is incredible, and this is coming from a chef who studies this food and who has worked in a kitchen for a very long time. I have an incredible amount of respect for them. This was a really fun day and a fun moment to be able to interact with people on the street.
Hey, namaskar, bye. Namaskar. I love that you always have to just look 900 ways because I'm not on my phone. Namaskar ji. Beautiful oranges. Beautiful oranges today.
So those oranges were gorgeous. They were sour oranges. I was there in November, and so they were beautiful and in season. Great produce, really an incredible place for produce. This next clip starts a spice market that we're in, and there's spice markets all over. Lal Bagh, I believe, is the name of this spice market. If I'm butchered that, I'm sorry, but that's what I remember. And I start really experiencing these incredibly fresh spices. The shop owner was so kind and so wonderful. I was so grateful that he allowed us to sample so many things, and it was in his interest because I ended up buying so much stuff. To be honest, I didn't buy enough. You know, when I go back to India next time, I want so many more spices. The quality in spices is so different than what we get in the United States. But let's watch this play out and watch our interactions as we sample the spice market here.
On the spice shop, and we have all the stuff that we're buying now. Sri Lankan cinnamon, dalchini. Dhanyavad bhai. Dhanyavad.
This one is also there. You can taste it.
The Sri Lankan?
It is from Vietnam.
Vietnam?
Oh, this is much different.
Oh, so different.
This must be more smoky or sweet.
Oh, it's so sweet. It's like chini.
So really good point to stop this, because I want to talk about two different spices, or two different styles of cinnamon. You have Sri Lankan cinnamon and you have the Vietnamese cinnamon, Ceylon versus Cassia. And Ceylon cinnamon is a lot of the cinnamon that you'd use in garam masala. You don't want a Vietnamese cinnamon in that because Vietnamese cinnamon is very sweet. And you'll see me here, what I just said is very chini, very sweet, like sugar, right? The aromatic for this was incredible. A lot of that sweeter cinnamon is what the West is used to, where you're kind of grating that cinnamon on top of maybe coffee or a hot chocolate, or that's the cinnamon that the West typically bakes with. The Ceylon cinnamon is incredible. It is flatter. You see it in Mexican cuisine as well. Ceylon cinnamon is just, yeah, it's great. Both have different uses, but the level of aromatics that I'm having at this point is so much more than I've ever been used to in the United States. So it was a really great revelation for me.
Oh my God.
This you can create on desserts.
100 gram?
This one or this one?
200 on this one, 100 on this one.
ह्याच्यातली 200 आणि ती 100.
Thank you, bye.
ही 100.
It's weird that like the difference between the two.
That's mind-blowing right there. Like, so you're a chef.
Yeah.
You see those two difference. What was the difference from the Sri Lankan one to the Vietnamese?
म्हणजे हास्य गाणी.
Chill, like
It's hot.
You have like you can use these for the
Year?
ते ड्राय केलेलं असतं ना त्याला काही नाही.
Yeah. This one's like more like sweeter, I feel like.
Yeah. The Vietnamese one is sweet. That's what you'd find in like shaved over like a latte or things like that in the West.
Yeah, so one of the reasons I paused here is I want to talk about what BJ was talking about there. So a lot of times, like in videos, you'll see us smell something first. Now, I know that from a Desi culture perspective, you know, some people find that a little rude and off-putting. In the West, we're always taught, as kind of the fine dining world, we're taught to smell first because so much of our taste is tied to our smell. So if you see that, please do not take offense to it. It's something that we're trained in. Just like if you came over from here, there's certain things that you were brought up culturally. We don't do it on purpose, and we certainly don't do it from a disrespect standpoint. It seems like it's a little bit more normal to smell spices from this side of things than it is from a food side of things, which I totally understand. But I wanted to clarify that because some people will be like, oh, don't smell the food. But that's something we're trained in, you know, and it's something that helps us, you know, understand how it's really kind of a sign of respect too, in our side of things, and disrespect. And unfortunately, you know, we'll work on that. But the spices that we're experiencing at this point are great. You see my friend Ishan, who's taking a lot of video at this point and helping us capture this moment, because I gotta say, this was so great. I miss India so much, like so much.
बहुत बढ़िया.
Anything else you want to see?
Ask him what each.
I know it's each one. So, black pepper.
These are black pepper. I will show you in the first quality. मिरी दाखव एकदम ऊंची.
Fucker. This is how I spend all my money. I want to get a really high quality black pepper. High quality black pepper.
ठेवा तिकडे. आपल्याला तर नको ना 240. कुठला 240 दिला मला सांगा. कालाला तर ह्याला यूज करायचं ना आपल्याला 13 किलो. काय करतो बच्चा? आता तो पहिलाच आहे ना 240 तो दे ना. मोठा आहे ह्याच्यापेक्षा मोठा आहे. ह्याच्यापेक्षा मोठा आहे. मार्केटमध्ये लाल मार्केटमध्ये नाही.
Nice note on the black pepper.
दालचिनी पाहिजे. दादा मग 320 दिला तरी चालेल. नाही हाय.
See how black it is?
हा एक लॉट एकाला द्यायचं आहे म्हणून. हा मला माहिती नाही ना मी एकदम चिली दाखवले. हा हा राहू दे.
That's crazy. 100 gram?
100 ग्राम द्या.
What's up?
This with any red meat.
I know. It's beautiful. Such good quality.
Even generally, just some sprouts or dal. This will be superb.
Yeah, so I wanted to pause it here because when I came back, a lot of my chef friends were like, how was the spices? How was the food? And I was like, it's a whole other world of beautiful cuisine and food and spices. The black pepper. So I do a lot of South Indian food. I love South Indian food. I love all of Indian food, but there's something about South Indian food specifically that just, it touches a part of my heart. The black pepper here was absolutely incredible. I wish I could do it justice to explain how beautiful it was. It was fruity and spicy and aromatic and incredible. And at this point, we're just like, I'm going to spend all of my money here because I just enjoyed it so much. But Ishan would caution me. He'd say, hey, this is India. There's so much more. And he was really right. I'm really thankful for Ishan, who really guided us through this. It's nice to have amazing friends, even though we live a world away. I love you, bye.
That's incredible.
That's pilpar.
Yep, that's Szechuan peppercorn. You keep going, brother. Chicken, yeah, it's a fact.
Technically it's dal, but
Custard apple.
that looks very good.
Yeah, very good.
See,
Custard
that's
apple.
Right. See, that's an orangey.
Yeah. Okay, they have beautiful fruit selection, just like stunning. It's one of the coolest things about this area. Just so many gorgeous fruit everywhere.
These are the lychee bananas? Right. That's the lychee.
Yeah?
And those three are right. We'll take those. We'll taste them.
Get some?
Lychee कितने का है?
Is it considered a lychee kele? Or kela?
Yeah, lychee. आधा डजन लूँ क्या इसका?
You gotta let Beej order.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Hindi. Elaichi kela kitna? Kitna. Kitna is how much?
Elaichi, kela, ketna?
So on this trip, there was a lot of time that I would spend with Beej, and we would work on his Hindi a little bit. Again, I'm not fully fluent. I know a good amount. I can have some conversation, but Beej got so nervous, and I saw that look in his eye because I get that all the time too. The bananas that we're talking about is the elaichi bananas, little like cardamom-looking bananas. They're just incredible and wonderful, and it was my first time having them. It's funny because India is such an incredible country, and I really hope everyone visits India and falls in love with it the way that I did. But I also know that India can be intimidating coming from the West if you don't do your research, which is why learning words, learning these things. But travel, there's so many great travel YouTubers on here that are just so much cooler than me. But for all of you who are travel YouTubers, if you ever see this, thank you for all you do, because you inspire people like me to get out of my comfort zone, seek discomfort, being one of you guys. God, there's a million that I watch all the time. I watch too much YouTube. That's the truth. But this is a really fun interaction. This is me being a little ignorant in this interaction, not knowing how to say certain things back and getting a little nervous. But thankfully, Ishan comes to the rescue and we walk away with some bananas. That's the spoiler alert, but let's see how it's done. You ready?
You hear what he said? Beautiful little elaichi kela. And that is elaichi, or cardamom banana. No, waiting. Let's. Jesus.
That was light one.
Kitna rupiya?
50.
50.
Yeah, that's the guy's
But yo, Ishan, betas? How much? Yeah, 50. Dhanyavad ji.
Punch, patch,
Yeah.
is all
A new punch.
forms of 5.
Yeah.
What was 50?
Panchas. And so now we have our beautiful little bananas. Mumbai. There's always something going on, something to pay attention to. Hey! Amazing.
They called it Elon Musk.
What's that?
He's a celebrity, Elon Musk.
Yeah.
So this part was a lot of fun. One of the best things about traveling is spending time with the locals, walking around. Listen, if you're going to travel and you're going to stay in a hotel, don't travel. Really, life, like Seek Discomfort always says on their channel, life really starts outside of your comfort zone. And we're walking around Mumbai. There's a bus full of school kids, and they go, "Celebrity, celebrity, it's Elon Musk." Which is hilarious because I don't look anything like Elon Musk, clearly. So it was just like this fun thing. It must be neat to see people walking around that you don't see every day, and I had a blast. Every single person, except for a couple of small incidents in India, was just the most hospitable and wonderful and accepting people, really anywhere that I've ever been. And I don't say that to get views. I don't say that for anything. I say that as the truth. India is such an incredibly beautiful and diverse and awesome country, and you have to go. And it's interactions like this that, to be honest, I really enjoyed. It was funny. It was just so different. So let's see what else happens.
It's currently 12:30 in the afternoon, and it's this. Lunchtime? Lunch na?
I think it's half day for school today.
Half day?
But now you're in the city with all the sounds.
Half day.
So I wanted to pause it here for a couple of reasons. Number one, it starts to get really crowded here, right? Mumbai has a lot of people and it gets crowded. The reason I paused it here is I loved the crowd. Typically in America, I don't like crowds, all that. There's something different about the energy of India. One of the biggest travel tips I have if you're going to India is to relax and have patience. Things are busy and there's horns and there's this and there's that. But once you surrender to that, you realize that the beauty of India really is and that there's this cosmic force that helps everything just work. From traffic to people to all these things that are happening, it just somehow works. And I think that that's a beautiful testament to India. Let's see what happens as we start to go down the street, because some neat things happen. You ready?
It's a lot like just knowing. In the States, I think people are always texting and driving and texting and walking. And India forces you to be very present. Because if you text and walk here, you will not make it. Hard to film and walk like Ishan is doing. But he's a professional. I would have fallen 12 times already. It's fucking crazy. Forcing you to be ever present as we just keep walking. I know, right? When we don't need them to. I know. Oh, no. The sounds, the smells, overwhelming and beautiful.
So here's a good part to pause. I think this is a part where we're going to be crossing a street. Crossing in India is, it takes some time to do it correctly. The traffic patterns are different. The first couple days you're there, you don't really get it. After you spend a little time in India, you understand when to go, when not to. But yeah, it's like there's always a level of adrenaline that happened to me when we would cross a street. Toward the end of one of my last days there, we crossed an incredibly busy road where there's a medium that you had to stop and wait for the next traffic pattern, and cars were just zipping by, and I think that was one of the more challenging ones. But like, there's so many people that when they go, you can go, and it's fun. It's Frogger. If you're from the West, you know that video game. But once you understand it, it makes a lot more sense. So let's see what happens.
bustling, man. It is an art form all to itself. If you're a person who can't cross a road because you're shy, it's better to do it with somebody you know.
आणि ती मिरची उघडून तुम्ही त्यात मीठ लावता.
Hello. Hey, namaskar, bye.
It's a stuffed chili.
Stuffed?
It's been a dry brined.
Yeah.
Dry aged with salt. Kept out to dry on the road. So it loses its spike, it loses its heat, but keeps the flavor. So you deep fry it, have some dal chawal, ghee, and have this at the side as a seasoning agent.
That's awesome. That's so cool. A little camera?
शेफ आहेत.
Yeah.
हे स्वतः शेफ आहेत. त्यांना सगळं येतं. वरण भात गिरण भात तांबडा रस्सा सगळे बनवतात. ते बनवतात सगळं.
So cool. That's really cool.
Come inside.
So to pause here really quick, what was going on is I had this little small camera that was an action camera that was kind of toward the middle of my chest, and it helps me to keep my hands so that I can move and touch things and interact, and they were pointing it out, and I wanted to make sure it was okay with them if we filmed. Ishan is brilliant, as you can see there. I'm going to link his channel as he's starting to get on YouTube here. You're going to see a lot more with Ishan and I, as he is a absolutely genius filmmaker. Man, I wish I had half the talent, maybe even a quarter of the talent that he has. But I'm going to do a special video to kind of honor him as he starts to get on YouTube. You're going to want to follow him, because my trip wouldn't never have been this cool if it wasn't for Ishan, and I'm so grateful. This is another spice vendor. You hear me talk about copra during the course of this. Copra, for those of you who don't know, is kind of like you see it there in the video, that coconut, that back side of the coconut, the brown side, that's shaved when you're making dishes like chettinad, chicken, or things of that nature. So I'm explaining that, but the language barrier between myself and them, and copra, I don't think is a Hindi word. I believe it might be Tamil. Correct me if I'm wrong, as I'm always learning. But yeah, it was this really great cultural exchange without having the ability for me to really say the things I wanted to. So here's how it looks. Coconut. The backside is all that copra. There we are, copra. Copra. Chettinad. Yeah, chettinad chicken. Copra, you shave copra for it. Yeah. बहुत बढ़िया. Oh, so nice. That's so nice. Oh, so good. Star anise. The black cardamom. Yeah. Methi seed. Methi seed. Beautiful.
What's that seed?
Easy mace. Back of Java tree. Look at all of them. So good. So good. It's beautiful.
I'm so happy for BJ.
Yeah.
So अरे सर खुद का खाना करते हैं सर, सब कुछ जो अपना इंडियन खाना है ना, पूरा का पूरा नॉर्थ इंडियन साउथ इंडियन सब बनाते हैं.
Flattery. Thank you.
पोटनी बिटनी डाल के मस्त.
So one of the things that I appreciate so much about this trip is how patient everyone was with me. Being a foreigner in a land that is not mine, being shy too, like I was nervous because I didn't ever want to be disrespectful in any way. This is a culture and a food and a people that I love so much. And I think a lot of times when you see me nervous in a video in India, it's because I'm trying to think about what would be the most respectful thing to do in that case. And I think that gentleman right there was so kind to me, as Ishan had these wonderful things to say about me, which was so kind. And to see him, kind of smile and hold space for me as I was navigating the store. There's just a level of patience that I really appreciate. It's one of the things that makes India so wonderful to visit. So much beautiful stuff everywhere. Namaskar, bhai.
That's candied amla.
Oh, nice.
Candied amla. This is sandga. Sandga is, how do I explain what is sandga?
It's incredible. Triumphs.
Yeah. And these are all the various types of flowers. Like this is the amaranth flower.
Yep.
This is thalpit, mixed flower.
Yep. That's
Bhaji koi, that's horse gram.
Yep.
That's seasoned horse gram. This is bhaji, kesan and other stuff.
Man.
Amboi, modak, rice flour.
This is incredible.
This is chakli masala.
That's the chakli masala?
Just for chakli, specifically mixed for that.
Really?
Yeah.
Does it read 2 to 4 kilo?
Yeah.
No.
A bit more than that. Jeera rice papad. Jeera and rice papad.
So as we kind of head to this last section of the video, there's something really awesome that happens here for me. We taste this incredible achar, and this achar is mind-blowing because it's so fresh and it's so delicious, and man, my reaction to it is just so genuine. I'm so thankful for this. I still dream of this achar, and it was just India. It's the best. Jeera and rice papa, 200 grams, beautiful. Yep. Yeah, we try a little bit of this wonderful.
This is the stuff you should take back.
Yeah. Well, we can get some of it, but not as good.
Hey, Bala.
Hey, Bada. Nimbu? Nimbu hai na?
Nimbu. That's a maza food.
Yeah, please. I love achar so much.
Yeah?
So much. Achar and rice, that's a whole meal. Whole meal right there. So I'm so excited for this little achar. You can put it in here.
No, that has spices.
For you. No, you
Just poke it?
Yeah. Ariya. Bahut badhiya. Oh man. Can we do like how much you want? You want some?
Yeah, like that is how Kyachi quantity kitni?
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
That is 200 grams.
200.
That's half kilo. So see which one you want.
200 grams kitna?
200 grams चे किती?
200 ग्रामचे लूज घेतलं तर 20 रुपये.
200 grams for 20 rupees.
200 grams for 20 rupees. Can we do 200 grams? Do 2 of those package?
200 grams चे 2 packet.
Yeah. Thank you. My Hindi is not there yet. Yeah, I figured that as well. So one of the mistakes I make a lot is assuming everyone speaks Hindi. And the reality is there's so much Marathi. And I'm thankful that Ishan, who speaks, I don't know, like 6 languages, was there. But that's a really good example of just the ignorance on my end that, I didn't have the ability to communicate with him because he seemed like he wasn't a fluid Hindi speaker. Or if he was, obviously my Hindi is not great either, especially my pronunciations. So it's work to be done, right? I'll say that achar was incredible. It was absolutely delicious. It was one of the highlights of my day. Also, you'll see us reference maza, which is kind of like this mango drink that has a ton of sugar in it that tastes so good. But when you're walking around for hours and hours, there's just something, it was cold and delicious. It was such a fun time. Hope you enjoyed this walking video. I learned so much throughout the course of this, and if you like this style of video, give me a thumbs up and let me know in the comments, because it's fun to break down all of this footage that I have to give you the behind the scenes story and help you understand what I was experiencing, but also we can learn from each other as well. I appreciate you guys so much for being a part of this channel as we hit 60,000 subscribers. What? Thank you for being a part of this. You guys are the best. Nothing but love, and we will be back soon for a lot more. Give this a like, subscribe, and all that fun stuff that we do that I'm terrible at talking about. You know what to do. You guys are the best. Thank you.